Here is what I eat in a week for dinner on a plant-based diet. If you're new here, hey, I'm Healthy Emmie. I'm a nutritionist, a weight loss specialist, and the creator of Slim. I am also hosting a completely free webinar called The 5 Steps to Thriving on a Plant-Based Diet. You can sign up for that here or in the description bar. It's gonna be awesome, and there's gonna be a surprise at the end, so I can't wait to see you there. This video is going to be showing you what I have for dinner when I'm just at home during the week on the weeknights, but also what I do on the weekends, because I'm going to be eating out of the house on the weekends, both at restaurants, and I did some traveling. Let's get into it, and let's start with Sunday. On Sunday, I went for dinner at Healthy Parents. If you're new here, my incredible parents do follow the Slim on Starch protocols. They went through my program, and they both eat a whole food plant-based diet. So let's see what Healthy Dad cooked up for us.
So today we are featuring Kung Pao tofu in the Healthy Parents cookbook, which is under construction. So we're gonna have, as usual, but a little change up because we've got celery, red onion, Vidalia onion, and water chestnuts. And those, of course, with no oil. And those are all ready to go. You have a choice. It's either going to be over white rice, and we really went wild with either that or fettuccine noodles. And the tofu is cooking. That was lightly marinated with liquid aminos, kind of by mistake, but that's okay. And then we're going to make the secret sauce, which is balsamic vinegar, liquid aminos, and we're going to add some peanuts, but we put a heaping helping of cornstarch. And the cornstarch will thicken this up to like a syrup, a tangy syrup. And then when that happens, we're going to add ginger, of course, and just a little bit of red pepper flakes to make sure it has the edge. And then we mix it all together, and then you can have it over rice, pasta, neither or both. With Mom's homemade bread.
Oh yeah, Mom.
How about
Look
that?
at this.
Oh.
It's beauteous.
Yes, no.
There's Healthy Dad's bowl. It looks so good. So dinner tonight was Healthy Dad's Kung Pao tofu. This is one of his new recipes. He actually emailed me an updated cookbook that he wants to put out. So he and my mom are gonna put together a new cookbook, and the full recipe is gonna be in there. Very excited about that. But wow, this recipe was terrific. The peanuts really gave it such a satisfaction factor, and it was just absolutely delicious. Then after getting home, I did a little bit of a grocery haul, stopped at Whole Foods, took a little walk to Whole Foods. So let's go through the grocery haul for the week. Happy Sunday, everyone. Kind of a funny angle that I'm starting this video at, but it is because it's dark, because fall is officially here. Okay, I'm looking a little chaotic. There's a lot going on right now. We got a cat. I've been really loving kale recently. It is fall time, kale is in season, and I've been loving having steamed kale as a part of my bowls from the Healthy Bowls cookbook. So I got a bunch of kale. I really wanted to try this out. I feel as though the time has come for me to finally try frozen avocado. We all know how having fresh avocado goes. It's here one day, gone the next. So I'm going to volunteer as a tribute to try out the frozen avocado and see how it tastes when it's thawed. Frozen edamame is flying off the shelves at Whole Foods. I was at Whole Foods this morning and it was fully stocked with frozen edamame. I got the last bag this evening. Roasted red peppers, I love to have these in wraps or on sandwiches, or I'm gonna be making a bowl from my Healthy Packed Lunches cookbook. I'm gonna be making the edamame quinoa bowl. And usually I get roasted red peppers, but sometimes they have the roasted peppers that also have the yellow and the orange in here, which is always really fun and cool. So I got those. Got some frozen mango that I'm going to thaw and use in some bowls. I love frozen mango in like sushi bowl, or specifically I'm gonna use it for the edamame quinoa bowl for my Healthy Packed Lunches. I want to make some Mexican burritos, so I got some black beans so that I can make some Mexican food. Oh my gosh, if you live in the Boston area, this is oil-free hummus. It is so good. It's made in West Roxbury, West Roxbury, and they have it in some areas in the Boston area. They have it at Foodies in Boston, so I love this hummus. I got a bunch of zucchini. I got 5, actually. I have been loving zucchini oatmeal. As the weather gets colder, it has just been calling my names. Bananas for my oatmeal. Guess how much this bunch of bananas cost? I will tell you, $1.31. For the Mexican food, organic bell peppers were on sale at Whole Foods. So for the Mexican food also, I think I'm gonna make wraps. I just love bell peppers for wraps and for sandwiches. So I got 2 orange, 2 red, 2 yellow. Red onions never go to waste in my household. I love steamed red onions. I also stopped at the Asian market. I love king oyster mushrooms. There's just something about them that's so good. So I will just slice these into coins and I will bake them and put them in wraps or in bowls. Bean sprouts for wraps, Asian food. I got these this morning, but the Atoria's Bakery Lavash is oil-free, so love that. They have it at Whole Foods. You used to only be able to buy it online, but I swear to you, because I talked about it so much, they're in Whole Foods now. And then in the fridge, I pretty much always have tofu. I like the extra firm, and I have tempeh, so I always have those in the fridge. I also have quinoa and wild rice. I get these in the bulk section at Whole Foods and add them into my bamboo jars. Now let's get into Monday night dinner. I have a Q&A with my slim clients every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So usually what I do is I prep out my dinner before, and then I will put it in the oven right after the Q&A, or sometimes right before the Q&A, depending on how long it has to bake. So let me show you what my sheet pan dinner was. I love a sheet pan dinner. All right, we've got a few things here fresh out of the oven. I just threw on parchment paper, kind of a sheet pan here. Oh my gosh, my new obsession are these mushrooms. I don't know the name of them. I get them at the Asian market. You know what? I'll do a little bit of research and I'll find out what the heck these mushrooms are called. So they are called oyster mushrooms, and I love going to the Asian market because there's so many different types of mushrooms, and I've just been obsessed with mushrooms recently. These are delicious. Gosh, these mushrooms are so good. I will put up the name of them and I get them at the Asian market. So some liquid aminos, threw them on the baking sheet. I also have the king oyster mushrooms, which I've been loving. I've really been loving trying out all these different types of mushrooms. So these are the king oyster mushrooms that I just sliced up. Put those into the oven, 425. I have a little bit of honey nut squash because 'tis the season. Brussels sprouts. So 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Then here I just roasted up some tofu. So liquid aminos in the oven. It didn't fit on the sheet, so I just put it in the silicone. And then over here, I steamed up some quinoa. Then I steamed up some kale. Wow, look how vibrant that is. I steamed up some kale and some red onion. So we'll throw that in as well. And we're just making a leftovers bowl here. So let's assemble. Then I went ahead and assembled the bowl here. So we have quinoa, steamed kale, steamed red onion, honey nut squash, tofu, Brussels sprouts, And then the two types of mushrooms, the oyster mushrooms and the king oyster mushrooms. And I always do put a sauce on top of this. I'll assemble it in the bowl and take a picture because it looks so beautiful, but then I actually dump it into another bowl, put the sauce on top and mix it all together. So what I've been doing for a sauce recently is I will either do peanut butter, maple syrup, and soy sauce, or I will do mustard, maple syrup, and a little bit of soy sauce. I find that the sweet sort of honey mustard dressing is very friendly. Something about it just reminds me of fall and goes really well with these bowls. So I've been leaning toward doing that recently. Of course, every day I'm making sure to supplement with my vitamin B12. If you're on a plant-based diet, this is a non-negotiable. You have to supplement with this. Symptoms of B12 deficiency, which nearly half of Americans are low in B12, low mood, low energy, slow metabolism, anemia. This is essential for proper neurological function and just the functioning of your body overall. So please make sure that you're supplementing. This is the cleanest one you're gonna find. I created this B12 because I could not find one that I was willing to recommend to my clients and to my followers. I did not feel confident recommending any of the ones that I could find on the market, so I made my own. So you can get this. It is linked on the screen here. It's also linked in the description. Now let's get into my Tuesday night dinner, another sheet pan meal. I just love these sheet pan meals. Let's show you what I made. All right, so on parchment paper, not on parchment paper, on Silpat, we have delicata squash, honey nut squash. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so sad when this season is over. The jury's still out on what these are. They may be oyster mushrooms, not exactly sure. Those have liquid aminos. Enoki mushrooms, I'm trying these out, very excited about that. Tempe with some liquid aminos. So the oven is set to 425 and I'm gonna bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes. V has a Brussels sprout in his mouth. Okay, here we go. This is not the first time this has happened. Okay. All right, so that's that. Quinoa, I have, it looks like a donut, a quinoa donut. Some quinoa that I'm going to steam up here. And then I'm also gonna do Brussels sprouts and onions, but I'm gonna steam those. In my steamer, I have my red onion and my Brussels sprouts, so I will steam these in the microwave. Onions and Brussels sprouts have been steamed. They were a little bit over steamed. The mushrooms and tempeh are cooked. The squash needs a little bit more time, so I will remove the mushrooms and tempeh and cook the squash for a little longer. So now let's go ahead and assemble. I have my quinoa, then adding in my honey nut squash, which, oh my goodness, the season is over, which is so sad. It is such a short season, but it's such a sweet season every year. Then adding on some of the carnival squash and the delicata squash, as well as these enoki mushrooms, which were fun. The oyster mushrooms, the Brussels sprouts, the steamed red onion, and the tempeh. And then here is my peanut butter based dressing. And again, I toss it into another bowl, I mix it all together, and then I eat it, pouring it all in. It's not as cute when you pour it all in, but that is the reality there. Then on Wednesday was a leftovers wrap night. So I love these Atoria wraps that I talked about earlier. And then I'll just take some oil-free hummus. There is a place in Boston that has, it's new and they have new oil-free hummus. You could make your own. Kava has oil-free hummus. Cedars has an oil-free hummus. But this is Bay Sweets and they're out of West Roxbury. I get it at just a little shop in Boston, has the oil-free spicy hummus, which is really great. And so I put that on and then just leftovers of all the veggies that are in the fridge. So I did peppers, tofu, red onion, bean sprouts, mushrooms, and lettuce. And I usually have 2 wraps, so I had 2 of these wraps. So on Friday, we were leaving for the weekend. And so what I don't want to do on Thursday is go buy a bunch of groceries. That's why the night before, Wednesday, I had just all the leftovers. So on Thursday, my significant other and I actually went out for sushi and I ordered some avocado mango rolls. Let me look at the photo, I can't even remember. Avocado mango rolls and avocado cucumber rolls. I love sushi. Then we were leaving for the weekend. So on Friday, we were leaving to go to I guess I can call them my in-laws now. I mean, not yet, but almost. So we were leaving to go to their place on Long Island. We live in Boston because we were going for a wedding for the weekend. So we left on Friday and I had breakfast at home on Friday and then I brought my lunch with me, had dinner at I'll say in-laws, Saturday breakfast and lunch at my in-laws, Saturday night dinner at the wedding, and then Sunday morning breakfast on the way home. So I wanted to show you exactly how I navigated all that. I found it would be so much easier if I just brought my lunch with me to eat on the way, brought my breakfast for the next couple days, and brought my lunch for the next day so that it would be all good and ready to go. My future mother-in-law actually texted me and said, I'm having your chili tonight. She was making my chili recipe. We're gonna have steamed broccoli, we're gonna have grapes, which was awesome. So I love her, she's the best. So I didn't even ask, she just knew to do it. So I had that for dinner and knew that I didn't have to bring dinner with me. So let me show you how I prepped everything. I want to show you how I stay successful when we are traveling. It definitely takes some preparation, but it is so worth it. First and foremost, what I'm gonna be having for breakfast is out here, but that's beside the point. So what I'm going to be having for lunch that I'm bringing along, I've prepped out all of the veggies here. So I'm gonna do a quinoa bowl. So I put the quinoa in the pan so that I can cook it up quickly later. I'm gonna roast up these veggies in tempeh. So that'll be for lunch today. We are eating dinner at my in-laws tonight, so that's taken care of. Tomorrow morning breakfast I prepped out. So I put out my oats and then my mix-ins, my flaxseed, peanut butter powder. I really love the way that the peanut butter powder makes it taste. It's not like a low-fat thing. Banana, zucchini, and then I top it with almond butter, and they will have cinnamon there, so that's fine. Tomorrow lunch I'm doing veggies, quinoa, and tofu, so that's all good to go. Tomorrow dinner, we're gonna be at a wedding, so I don't need to prep for that. And then Sunday morning breakfast, I have my oats here. And then I am bringing along, I just made some banana bread, so it's oil-free, vegan, sugar-free, the whole thing, of course, and I'm gonna be bringing that along. So all of this is prepped out so that we can have a successful weekend here. All baked tempeh, Brussels sprouts, squash, mushrooms, quinoa. I'm gonna put it into my bowl. I'm gonna put veggies in first, then quinoa, because then I have a dressing, and I like the dressing to kind of dress the quinoa, but not as much the veggies. So we're gonna do the toppings on bottom. Toppings are in my I love this thing, by the way. It is by Stojo. It collapses. Love, love, love. So it's really great to bring with you. And now I'll put the quinoa on. Quinoa is on and steaming, and we will put on the top. And then here I am on the road having my lunch. And then for dinner, here's the photo of my chili, my broccoli, and my grapes. God bless her. It was a really good batch too. Oh, and for dessert, I made some banana bread. So I put that on my Instagram. The recipe is on my Instagram, and that was delicious. Then the next day I just had a repeat of what I had the day before. This is a really great tactic, is to cook once, eat twice, cook for two. So what I had prepped for lunch the day before was also gonna be my lunch the next day, and I had that before leaving for the wedding. All right, here I am with my bowl that I showed you earlier, all the ingredients. I threw it all together, the quinoa, tofu, mushrooms, squash, Brussels sprouts, and then I mixed together some peanut butter, soy sauce, and maple syrup and threw that on top. And now I'm getting ready for the wedding. So I'm gonna have this and then we'll go to the wedding. Also the next morning I had my go-to zucchini oats. I just made a reel about that on Instagram, so check out that Instagram reel where I go over what I have for breakfast every morning. I also have it on my TikTok. So make sure you're following me over there too, because on TikTok I've decided I'm just gonna be more casual Instagram is like my beautiful, and YouTube Shorts are like my beautiful, nicely produced videos. TikTok, I'm just gonna be hanging out, vlog style, so catch me over there. And then the next morning on the ride home, I had my zucchini oatmeal, which wasn't part of this video, but I figured it would be fun to include. Don't forget to get signed up for my 5 Steps to Thriving on a Plant-Based Diet webinar. It is totally free. I will see you in there, and I'll see you in my next video. If you like this video, you're gonna love the next one that pops up on the screen. It's another What I Eat in a Day video. I love you, honeys, and I will see you there.